Alright, time to get back on this knuckle motor. Been ignoring it for a while, working on that stupid M8 motor. Clicky customer race job turns into a damn project I didn't want to get into. Okay, so we got these all machined up. Motor mounts the last thing we did. So we gotta do now, we gotta do an oversized breather hole because the breather hole's all screwed up because when the rod let go in a 200-mile motor, it ran metal throughout the whole motor and got the breather hole kind of screwed up. So we're going to go ahead and take this thing apart and get it split and see what we got to do to it. Well, I know what I got to do to it. I got to bore the hole out. One thing about a relatively clean motor, new, it's things unscrew pretty good and they're not, don't give you a lot of issues fighting with them. That's supposed to be a press-in fit. Obviously it is not. That's why the alignment of the case decks aren't very good. So when you put this motor together, you're going to have to line up your motor mounts and your case decks because they're got a little bit of float to them. Which also has a little bit of float in your main bearings when you're setting those up. There's some float in those too. You got one tight spot right there. And these are supposed to be tight to dowel them together so it stays put every time. These use a little bit of float, a couple thousand, back and forth, but this one, probably more like about 10. Not what you want to be seeing, obviously. This stud's tighter than the dowel stud, it's supposed to be loose. It's the only one that's actually doing anything. And the center one probably is too, I bet. It's probably the only one that's actually doing any work. It's the center one. Yep. It's the only one that has any pressure on it. That's the only one that's correct. And this one has a little drag on it too, which once again is supposed to be loose. Alright. Precision machining, got to lightly tap and take it apart. That's what's keeping my main bearings pretty straight. This direction's good, but the rotation can be different. So rotation shouldn't change it, side to side would. I got a nice tight parting lip on here. The main bearing should stay lined up no matter what. I'm going to recut this case. I cut everything on the center of the bearing, so if it does rotate, it should stay the same. Alright, so this side of the case here should be done, except we got to put the studs back in it. And I think you want me to re-blast these. Need to deburr the sharp edges here where they're trying to cut you. So I can do a little work on that too. A little prep work. Not for now. This one we're going to work on is this one. So this here has a register right here. That's not exactly what you should be coming off if you're being flat, because it only goes 2/3 way around. It gets pretty thin down here. It's not always flat. So you want to come off the parting lip. So we're going to have to space this up a little bit to get on the parting lip. So we're going to use my 1, 2, 3 blocks here, like that, on that surface to keep it flat. Alright. So I need a couple of these over here. And we need to transfer this over. Tangle up in the cord over there. And the sweet spot over here for us to be at, right there. Should be good to go. Okay, got a nice center bolt right there to go off with a register. Okay, should be on a block now. Kind of what we're after. I'd like to catch the center one if I could. If you rotate the case over like that, we should be able to catch a block right here. That way you're going around the whole diameter of the case. It's known as the circumference. There we go. Block in there. Put a little bit of tension on your screw, hold down, and kind of wiggle around a little bit, make sure it's kind of centered. Then you tighten it down a little bit. I don't tighten it too much, just enough to hold it. Because the more pressure you put on the bolt, the more it's going to squeeze the case inward. This is actually going to buckle the whole case like that, so I got pretty good tension on it right now. Something I can do that will help me is I can come over here and put some tension right here on this one, and I can loosen this up a little bit and let the rotation here help hold it so it won't rotate. That way it won't be putting so much tension on this, because I got quite a bit on there right now. So I'll probably loosen that up a little bit. We're going to put a little hold down right here first. And we just happen to have the stud right where we need it. Look at that. Okay, that's going to be the, probably I had this one, probably have to go to a longer one. Yeah, it looks too long. Same length. One of these, pair of these. Probably won't hurt to have two of these. Gonna need a nut and a strap. Get all the important stuff over here. Okay. Use both my hands here. Yeah, probably need that second block. Yeah. These ones are too big. Use a low profile one. Gonna move this over a little bit. Okay, a little pressure on that one. A little bit there. Just need to put more on it because it's directly pushing against the table. Now, as hard as you move this, you're not going to move it now. So that's what you want. That's not hitting. That one's hitting. That one's hitting. That one's some pressure on it, not real heavy. This one has no tension on it. This one's real tight. This one kind of moves a little bit. It's tight here, loose back here. When you're pulling down on the case, it's not exactly 100% even. So it makes a difference. Even though that's all machined perfectly flat, it doesn't always replicate what you think it's going to do. Close enough though. Alright, so this hole here, you can see the grooves in there. So I have to bore that in. Alright, let me go find me a breather valve to put in there and I'll be back.